Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be going through a few things that you can do to prep your legs, especially your knee, prior to going skiing. So if you're new to this channel, I am Anna Maria. I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor. But before we get going, just make sure to hit like in this video and subscribe to the channel to get weekly releases updates. So let's dig in. So obviously prior to going skiing, it's important to prep a little bit your legs to make sure that they are as strong as possible to prevent you from getting any injuries. But also this video is good for you if you also suffer from a little bit of an injury in especially your knee and you're actually still going for skiing trips. The first thing we're going to do is prep our leg to make it a little bit more mobile and release any stiffness into our legs. The first one is to get yourself mobilizing. So it's important to release any stiffness prior to getting any strength on it. Now I talk about strength, but primarily we're not looking at loading using a lot of weights. We're looking at more getting fatigue through higher repetitions. So the exercises you're going to do are mainly going to be high repetition and low load. So the first one is releasing any stiffness into your legs and into your entire body. So a few little stretching exercises that you can do to prep is first of all trying to open up the hip, knee and your leg, which are going to be involved in a lot of movement when you are doing skiing. And an easy one is going into a lunge position first. Stretch that calf, strengthen and straighten your knee. Push the knee forward and then you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out you're going to push a little bit more forwards into your weight and extend and open that hip at the back. So we're aiming to try and open the hip at the back, trying to keep your body nice and straight, and also if you wish, reach your arms up and lengthen through those fingertips. Now when you are going to take a breath in, you're going to hold it here, and then as you breathe out you're going to lower the hands to the floor, and then you're going to bring that knee down into a kneeling lunge and uncurl your toes and straighten yourself up. Now from this position again, we're going to try open up the hip. We're going to move your front leg forwards. You're going to lean forwards and going to hold. Take a breath here. And then you're going to bring the hand, in this case the right leg is front, so we're going to bring right hand next to right foot and lengthen and rotate your left hand up to ceiling. Take a breath here. And then breathe out, slowly lower down. And then repeat the other way. So we reach your right hand and then breathe out, lower down. Very good. And then we're going to switch sides again. So we're going to come up. We're going to bring your opposite leg. This time is left leg forwards, right leg back. Stretch that calf. Lift the hip from the front and lift your chest and reach the arms up. Take a breath. And then as we breathe out, we're going to lower down, hands onto the floor, then the back knee, uncurl your toe and then straighten up a little bit. Bring that front foot a little bit more forwards, and then bring, this time is left foot forward, so left hand goes down, reach right hand up to ceiling, take a breath, and then breathe out, lower down, reach opposite, breathe in, breathe out, lower down. Straighten up and give a good stretch to the back of the hip. So tuck your tailbone under and then lean ever so slightly forwards, getting that openness through the back hip. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see what the movement is all about. Tucking in and leaning forwards, really getting that hip to open up a little bit. And again, just hold it for a few seconds and then come off. So then we're going to try and get the legs moving a little bit more. So into 4-point position, lengthen right leg, curl your toes and dip your heel down and release. So just trying that, get that back of your legs a little bit more warmed up and release any tension and stiffness over there. Do it a few times. So you're looking at about 6 to 8 repetitions on each leg, and then switch. Opposite side, and you're doing it a few times, getting that calf and the back of your hamstrings to stretch, and then release. Very good. And then we're going to come onto the front and a little bit on the back as well. So onto the front, if you do suffer from any conditions, something like a patellar tendinopathy, so tendonitis on the front of the knee, or you're getting a little bit of pain on the front of the knee, it's important to offload a little bit that tendon. And an easy way to do that is to just have your leg nice and relaxed, find where your kneecap is, and then use the web of your hand to come right on top, just a little bit above that kneecap. And then what you're going to try to do is push that kneecap towards your ankle. You're trying a nice gentle slide. This shouldn't be painful. You should barely feel anything. What you're trying to release is any tension around the top of the knee for it to be a little bit less. And that's important because when you're loading a lot to your knee whilst you're skiing, it will make it less of a pulling effect on it, and will make the tension in the front of the knee and also the back of the kneecap with the knee a little bit less. So just doing this a few times. So thinking of just trying to slide that kneecap towards the ankle to release any tension on the top of the knee. So to also release a little bit more tension on the top of the knee without actually stretching the quads, you can use something like a foam roller. So foam roller is great if you have one and you can travel with it, even if it's a compact one, because it releases tissue, especially even after a day, which will really help you after a day of skiing, and will also help minimize the development of muscle soreness. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do with the foam roller to actually release the soft tissue and make it a little bit more mobile. So into the calf, all you need to do is just place it midpoint and then lift yourself off. And you can also use your opposite leg to support your weight and just move up and down, even changing the direction of your foot. And that will help you release some tension. And you're looking at, again, about 6 to 8 repetitions of each one. And then you can do your hamstrings. You bring it further up and you just roll forwards and back. Again, a few repetitions. And then you can go up into your bottom, and this is by sitting on it. And the best way to target your bottom is to put that leg, so we have right leg onto left, into like that 4-point position, turning into more over to the right side, so the side that you're going to be working on, and just then rolling up and down. And again, we're looking at 6 to 8 repetitions of each movement on each leg. Taking your time. Some places you will feel soreness and some places you won't, as long as you're not getting any sharp stabbing pain. And then coming back. And also I would try and do a little bit into your lower back. So when going into your lower back, you're going to go up on your bottom, then turn ever so slightly on the side, and then just move up and down, so you're always onto the soft tissue, so the muscle part, rather than onto your actual spine. And that will release even into your bottom, and you have less tension pulling onto the leg. And again, repeat the same thing onto the opposite leg before you do anything else. So that's your prep done, and you can use that almost like a warming up prior to going skiing, and it will really help your body to get going. But the next 3 exercises actually, because I'm going to give you a bonus one, is trying to focus on getting a little bit more strength through those legs, through higher repetition, and getting a right form. So we're standing up for this. So the first one is hip hinging. So hip hinging is almost the same position that you're going to be on most of the time when you're skiing. And this is because we tend to try and lower our center of gravity to feel a bit more balanced. So we're almost in this position all of the time. So what we want to do is learn and get your body conditioned and get it stronger into getting into that position and holding it longer. So hip hinging is feet hip distance apart, soft knees. Think of that tailbone not tugged in completely but slightly in the middle, and then ribs in line with hips, chest open, and you're going to cross your hands across your chest. Now through the back, I want you to think as if you have a pole running through the back of your head, between your shoulder blades, and then coming down into your tailbone. And I want you to try and keep the contact of those main points against the pole. Now, keep that position. The last thing is, imagine you have a table in front of your hips and you're going to fold over the table without bending through the spine. So you want to keep that spine upright. Hands across, and you're going to take a breath and then breathe out, look forward, and then slowly hinge through the hips, bringing yourself as parallel to that floor, table imaginary in front of you as you can, and then press into your feet to straighten yourself up. So the pressure shouldn't be on your back. You should feel like you're pushing through your legs. And again, breathing out, you lower. Breathing in, breathing out, you push. Breathing in, breathing out, you lower. Breathing in, breathing out, you push. So again, we're keeping that back nice and straight and really focusing on that hip hinge position. If you want to make it a bit stronger and a little bit more harder, you can also hug some weights, some hand weights, some books to make it even harder for you. And you lower and you lift, pushing through those legs. So that's your hip hinging exercise number 1 for strength. Second one is your skier squat. So I'm going to turn position so you can see me. We're going to be in that hip hinge position again, but we're going to bring our hands onto the hip and we're going to shift your weight onto one of the legs. And then what we're going to do with the opposite leg, we're going to tap your weight towards the other leg and then tap out. So I have left leg here, tap, reach, tap, reach. So again, we're in that slight bend through the hip, slight bend through the knee, feet pointing forwards, back nice and straight. So you're thinking of that pole running through the back of your spine. You're holding that core into that mini position of a squat almost. And we're tapping and reaching, tapping and reaching. And again, you want to try and do this to the point where you feel like you're either losing form or your muscles are completely fatigued, so really completely tired out and you cannot possibly do another repetition. So that may mean quite a high number of reps. Just making sure that there's no increase in pain in your knee or anywhere else that you're prone to getting injuries whilst you're doing this. And you do this for as long as you can to get that fatigue, and you start to get a lot of muscle working through that hip at the back and also through that leg, but shouldn't be much through the front of the knee. And then you stop and you repeat the same onto the opposite side. So you are again into a mini hinge, mini squat, shift the weight, tap and reach, tap and reach. You're trying to keep that back nice and upright. You're not bending forward and rounding your spine. And tap and tap. Very good. So that's your skier squat. The other exercise that we're going to go through, so your third exercise, is more of a tempo related one. So we're going to go with a squat which we've done already. So a mini squat into that almost half hinge position, but we're going to add the hands. So when we are skiing, your body is going to be going through different speeds, and you want to try and train your muscles for reacting to different speeds. So rather than doing a normal squat, we're going to add the arm swings, but we're going to come up and down with different speeds, and we're going to pull the arms up and down at different speeds. So this is what I'm trying to get at. So hands, feet hip distance apart, knees nice and soft. Take a squat. So this is your normal squat here, and what we're going to do is you go really fast coming up and really slow going down. Really fast coming up, really slow going down. Really fast coming up, really slow going down. And then you can change it up. You go really fast down, slow coming up. Really fast down, slow coming up. Really fast down, slow coming up. And that way you're changing the way your muscles react to the load through your body. Now, you can also make it a little bit harder to get that resistance that you normally would feel when you're pulling and pushing with the poles by adding weights. So you have two options here. I have two options here for you. You can either use hand weights, which will be in your hands, nice easy ones. If you don't have hand weights at home, you can use cans of beans, filled up bottles of water, whatever you want. Now, again, you feet hip distance apart, knees nice and soft, reach your arms up in front of you, and then swing them back, reach, swing them back. And again, it's up to you how you change it, whether you're going to go up quickly or down quickly and then slow the other way. So as long as you change a bit the tempo, that's great. Or you can even use a band. And again, a band underneath your feet. This will work in either position and will give you the resistance, especially when you pull back, similar to the poles. So you go forwards, and that's going to give you resistance, and pull back. Forwards, pull back. And again, it's going to give you that resistance that you need to get a little bit more load through your core and through the rest of your legs. So those are your exercises. I hope you have enjoyed them. Try and do them as many times as you can before your lead up going to skiing. As I mentioned before, it's important that you do not increase your pain if you already have existing pain in your legs, but they're a really good way to try and get your core and exercises and strength through your legs a little bit more stronger. And it's important to always prep before you go skiing, because no one's really going to do a marathon before they train. So it's the same when going skiing, really, to try and prevent you getting any injuries. So if you like this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for weekly releases updates. But otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.